Hope you're enjoying the music right now on Gold FM. Only the classic hits, especially if you're spending your time at home or around the office. I certainly hope you're taking it easy and enjoying the music coming your way. Well, I got a whole lot more to keep you moving and to keep you going right up until you reach lock-off time. I'm Kara. Join me every weekday from 2 to 7 on The Ride, only on Gold FM.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on घर संसार, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Tonight, Banuve Tambakaldoro has set a new Pacific Mini-Games record in Wallace and Fortuna. People's Democratic Party supports the... Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. Despite a warning from the Ministry of Education, the Aria Pratinidhi Sabha Fiji is adamant that students will be sent home if school fees remain unpaid. The organisation claims education officers have visited their schools this week, threatening management. Christopher Chand reports the ministry has once again reminded schools not to stop children from attending classes.
The Aria Pratinidhi Sabha isn't backing down from its decision to take drastic steps if school fees remain unpaid.
If we have to send the child at the end of the day, we will have to take the stand. We will front that when we come to that. And if ministry says, look, you are breaking the law, then they will have to prove to us which law we are breaking, because we are mandated to manage a school.
They do decide to send students home.
I will make a statement if they do that, not now. I don't anticipate any school will do that.
No student has been sent home yet, but the Sabha is alleging that the ministry is using bullying tactics.
They were here on Monday, telling teachers what they could do, what they can't, and telling management that you can't do that. Yesterday they were at other schools telling teachers that, look, you can't take the management position on board. Now that's intimidation.
That's a complete lie. I have the power to be in the school at any time under the Education Act, and no one should tell a lie. We are there to inspect, we are able to see there, and we are to guide and see things that are happening right.
Arya says, not surprisingly, parents have started paying up in the last 2 days after their decision to apply pressure.
If we all get together and find a solution, it will be helpful not only for Sabha schools, it will be helpful to all other school managements who are silently watching but not voicing because they are too scared to stand up.
The Ministry of Education is urging parents to pay their dues and at the same time warning schools against sending students home.
And we now join Chris live from our West office. Chris, can you tell us if this approach is helping the Sabha collect its dues?
Thanks, Jackie. In the last 2 days, they've managed to collect about $30,000. And the Sabha says they expect this figure to rise by Friday. They have 22 schools around the country and are owed close to $180,000 in Term 1 and Term 2 fees. Last Saturday, the organization decided to send students home if the dues were not paid. However, the ministry issued a directive yesterday to allow children to attend classes. Today, the Sabha has maintained its stand that it will take this step if the need arises.
Thank you, Chris. The People's Democratic Party says the new constitution lays the foundation for peaceful and democratic elections next year. Shanal Sivan spoke to PDP spokesperson Nirmal Singh, who says it's important to proceed towards elections and the new constitution is a good starting point.
The People's Democratic Party is the only political party which is ready to go to the polls under the 2013 constitution. Spokesperson Nirmal Singh says they are prepared to support the government's actions so long as they are all geared towards general elections next year.
We believe that the constitution lays the foundation and path for a peaceful democratic election next year, 2014. We believe that it is important for us to proceed towards the election, and the new constitution released to the people of Fiji is a good starting point. No constitution is perfect, everybody will have issues with the constitution. Some will agree, some will not. We'll move forward because I think the constitution lays the foundation.
Nirmal Singh says like any other document, the constitution will have its critics, but political parties will have their chance once they are in parliament.
As a nation, we should note that the government has made significant progress in terms, credible and significant progress towards conducting elections next year. And the constitution is the first point. There are positive points in the constitution as well, like one man, one vote, removing the racial consideration out of the constitution, and the strengthening of Aitoke rights.
The PDP believes with the speed of developments taking place, the time for finger pointing is over.
But this is the first time we have seen some credible steps taken by the government towards an election. And let's all join hands. There are certain things. You might be happy about the constitution, which I am not. So it will not make everybody happy.
Attorney General Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says despite what's coming out from the political front, the government will hold elections no later than September 2014, and they will follow the roadmap which has already been set out for the elections next year. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
Permanent Secretary for Elections Mohammed Saneem will be in Canberra this week to observe Australia's federal election on Saturday. Saneem says he is pleased to have this opportunity to see how elections are run in Australia. He says not only will this visit give Fiji the chance to view Australian electoral processes, but will also provide lessons that can be applied to Fiji. His program will include briefings on the Australian electoral system and the structure, as well as providing the opportunity to observe pre-polling, polling, the scrutiny of votes, counting after the polls close, and the election night virtual tally. In Fiji, the Elections Office is making preparations to hold the 2014 parliamentary election in one day. With just one day to go before the president assents to the constitution, many Fijians still seem unfamiliar with the document. FBC News took to the streets today to see what people had to say. Roland Karoy
In a
reports.
little over 24 hours, Fiji will officially have its fourth constitution. President Ratu Epeli Nailatikau will assent to the document on Friday afternoon. So what do everyday Fijians think of what's to become the supreme law of the land?
I haven't even read it. Yeah, that's why. But I heard it's to do with the races. Races are all included in it.
No, not yet.
Why haven't you read it?
I haven't received it.
I haven't read it because I don't have a copy yet.
No, I haven't read it.
Why?
Because I don't have time to read it.
I did not read it because I did not go to school and I don't know how to read.
When asked about the translated versions of the Constitution, the Itoke version was quite clear. However, there was some difficulty in reading the Hindi version. Some words used in the Hindi version are Vipaksh, which means opposition leader. In simple Hindi, the word is Virodhineta. The word committee in Fiji Hindi is simply committee. In the Constitution, it's Samitia.
This may augur well with the provision to have Fiji Hindi taught in primary schools, but one group doesn't think so.
We believe that Fiji Hindi is not a language. It's a concoction of so many bits and pieces, and it can't be taught.
The fact is that people just have not tried teaching it. There's been a lot of papers written on it, that it has its own grammar, etc. It's not the idea of teaching Shuddh Hindi. Nobody speaks Shuddh Hindi.
The ascension of the Constitution will get the ball rolling, so to speak, on elections due in September next year. Roland Karoy, FBC News.
Coming up, dialysis treatment now more readily available in the Western Division.
Nisam bulu binaka, oya wane kamanalangi, oni nandorungo ziao, may nadiwa kinarua na bisinga, may namoniti kinabagarumbu, kay na Radio Fiji 1 nandomay biti bongani biyanyano. Nama katalangana bengo na sasibiani na tinakaloka na bimbongi ni bukilulu, kay na bimama ni walu na bimbongi ni bakarawai, may nambuza ni walu, ningay namaka.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है 5 बच्चे होंगे 5 हाय मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली वेणु सुनते रहिए मिर्ची एफएम मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. 2 former Taiwanese diplomats have been impeached for alleged misconduct while they were stationed in Fiji. The Taipei Times reports that former representative to Fiji Victor Chin and Leon Liu, the former first secretary at the Fiji mission, face further punishment. Leon Liu was charged with sexually harassing a Fijian employee on 2 occasions. He had previously admitted the allegations. Victor Chin was charged with misbehavior, including illegal reimbursement of housing allowances, an inappropriate relationship with a woman at the Japanese embassy in Fiji, and negligence in overseeing bookkeeping of the office. Chin resigned as representative to Fiji in July 2011 after the Taiwanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs began investigating him. He was then suspended from all duties. The Department of Environment has today lifted a stop work order it had imposed on a poultry company in Nadi. Thor Fiji has been told it can now resume operations almost a month after being given the notice. Thor Fiji owners Sam Chandra and Seren Patel have welcomed the decision, thanking the Attorney General Eyesight Kayum for looking into their plight. The company was forced to kill more than 9,000 chicks as a result of the stop work order, and last week started giving them out for free. They will soon commence work on their broiler shed following the department's endorsement of their environment impact assessment. People with kidney problems in the Western Division will now be able to get treatment closer to home. The Health Ministry has signed up with the Western Dialysis Centre in Nadi today. Minister Dr. Neil Sharma says this is an effective and cheap approach.
The Western Dialysis Centre is the only facility of its kind in the West. Under the Memorandum of Agreement, it's now recognized by the Health Ministry. It's even equipped to treat people from outside of Fiji.
Patients or individuals with chronic renal disease or end-stage kidney disease who travel to Fiji would be able to vacation satisfactorily or comfortably in the West and have their dialysis 2 or 3 times a week whilst they're here in Fiji.
Dr. Neil Sharma says under the agreement, the ministry also offers 3 months of free dialysis treatment to individuals.
The new patients gets 3 months of free dialysis with 3 times a week. So 3 times a week for 3 months. And from there, they have to decide where would they go from there, like if they're going to have a renal transplant or they go on to have long-term hemodialysis.
The ministry is also looking into the possibility of setting up a dialysis facility in the north with the support of donors.
We hope we can improve the quality of life of people, and when their quality of life is good, then their productivity, national productivity increases, and we have a better quality of life.
This service is similar to those being undertaken by the Kidney Foundation. With more investment in health services, the day isn't far when kidney transplants could be available in Fiji. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
A senior administrator of the Mambula District School in Vivia says he's disappointed with the lack of dedication from people on the island. Assistant Principal Ilyas Avolovola says he's committed to lifting the standard of education in Mambula, but needs more from his fellow villagers.
Ilyas Avolovola grew up in Mambula. About 2 years ago, he returned as the assistant principal of Mambula District School, only to face traditional barriers in improving the quality of education.
Commitment towards the education in Mambula, especially Mambula District School, is not up to the standard we want at the moment.
We have started to develop the school. We have just finished a fundraising and raised 3,500 to upgrade the classrooms and equipments for our teachers.
Walla Walla has had some success. People who are traditionally his elders are starting to see things his way. After urging villagers to support him, the school with close to 100 students is showing signs of improvement.
See a great improvement this year. I want the committee and also the community to work collaboratively to uplift the standard of education in Mambula.
Developing Mambula District School is now top priority for the village. But a lot depends on shipping services.
At the moment, we want to upgrade the facilities inside the classrooms, especially the textbooks, things like that. If the shipping services is continue to be a problem, then I believe it will affect the education in the primary school.
All maintenance work at the school is funded by community fundraising. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
The Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji expects to review Fiji's search and rescue policy by end of this year. Authority Chief Executive Neil Slack says they've made a lot of progress over the last 12 months. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Defence Ministry has been working closely with the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji on the finer details of Fiji's search and rescue policy. MSF Chief Executive Neil Slack says they are the biggest contributors to this review, trying to meet international standards.
We have an international obligation to that as the regulator for maritime safety and security and protection of the marine environment. We are the representative of this state back to the IMO to ensure that we are compliant with those international obligations in relation to search and rescue.
Slack says there is no deadline as yet on completing the review.
I think, just estimating it'll occur this year, that would be the expectation. I know internally that's the sort of time frame we're looking to.
MSF has undertaken consultations far and wide to get as many submissions as possible.
And there's been a whole series of meetings with many governmental departments, stakeholders, the involvement of SPC and a number of NGOs as well, because it is just not search and rescue that we're looking at in Fiji. We need to support other nations that operate within the Pacific if we have capacity to do so, but likewise they have capacity that can support us as well.
Given a recent increase in mishaps at sea involving local mariners, small boat operators and islanders, the review will strengthen Fiji's search and rescue policy. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
It's sports time now, and a double celebration for the birthday boy in Wallace and Fortuna, Jamie.
Yes, it was. Jackie Mbanube Tambakaudoro celebrated his birthday today with a gold medal win and a new mini-games record in the 100-meter sprint. All the details from the mini-games after the break.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे from 3 to 7 p.m.
Mula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Welcome back. As mentioned earlier, Mbanube Tambakaudoro has won gold and broken the Pacific Mini-Games record in the 100 meters men's final in Wallace and Fortuna. Celebrating his 21st birthday, Tambakaudoro clocked 10.33 seconds. Second was Kupun Wiesel, and Fiji's Frances Kirikirikula settled for bronze. Let's have a look at the race.
It's really good, I'm really happy with that, A year older, a year wiser, a year stronger, and a year faster.
And what's next for you now that you have done it on your birthday? Celebrations on tonight, but you'll be back for more?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we've got the day off tomorrow, and on Friday, it's going to be really tough, so, just need to buckle down again.
In the women's grade, Toya Wiesel from Papua New Guinea won gold, while Fiji's Eunice Mbese settled for silver and the Cook Islands won bronze. Earlier on, Fiji's Mbatini Sabu Uluyata finished third in the men's 400-meter final, while Papua New Guinea made a clean sweep of the women's grade. First timer to the Pacific Mini-Games, Inia Seeley brought in Fiji's first medal on day 2 as he finished third in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. The Lambasa Secondary School student had never competed in this event before. After finishing behind two seasoned middle and long-distance campaigners, Seeley says this has better prepared him for later events. He's also aiming for a gold medal when he competes in the 1,500-meter race later in the week.
I feel good because this is the first time for me to compete in the big races, and for me competition is hard and I was able to manage the competition. Next time I will prepare well because now this is the first time for me. I know it's not easy. It's a tough job.
18-year-old Epeli Mbatisala ran the race of his life as he grabbed the silver in the 800 meters final on the tracks at the Kafika Stadium. He started the race very strongly but lost out on the finishing bend to a New Caledonian who started his sprint at the 200-meter mark, whereas Mbatisala only put pedal to the metal in the last 100 meters. The young medal winner was still out of breath when APC Sports got a hold of him.
My best first round, and the second round is want to stay beside the one who's running in front of me, and there's too many things.
What did you think of? What did you think when the race was about to start?
I think I'm gonna come first in the race, but I lost my breath in the second round.
Mbatisala also added he was happy with the run today as this was his first international meet. And the Fiji women's volleyball team started their Pacific Mini Games campaign on the right foot as they beat hosts Wallace and Fortuna by 3 straight sets last night. There was large home support gathered at the small Kafika Hall, but this didn't deter the Fiji team from putting on a gallant display. Coach Kenny Lindise's approach of changing the game to an American style of play consistent with power spikes paid off. Fiji faces Papua New Guinea tonight. Fiji National Rugby League officials today released tentative names for Fiji Mbati's team to the World Cup in England. Already 17 NRL players backed up with veteran Petero Thibanideva are deemed likely to wear the white jumper, leaving opposing fans already intimidated. Elena McDonald reports.
Aquila Uwate, the Naingama and Sims crew, even Daryl Millard, Fiji's spoiled for choice this year, as we await Jared Hayne, John Sutton and Semi Randrandra's fates.
He's keen. We have been in touch with him and he's keen to represent Fiji. And we're just going through the formalities to get the releases from the clubs so we can confirm on the 19th.
Star names already penciled in has impressed Fiji's pool opponent fans.
It's just a huge calibre of players from the best competition in the world. So I know that it's really, people around the world are really going to sit up and take notice to Fiji because they're going to come with a strong team. I just wish I could be there to see the games.
And overall, the team under the guidance of Rick Stone, then yeah, England have got a game on their hands, and well, it's the group of death, and I'm sure Fiji will do themselves proud, without a doubt.
Melbourne Storm wing Sisa Wanga was the first to confirm his availability. FNRL officials travel to Australia next week for the Quad Series trials before the Battle of the Bati concludes final selections 2 weeks from now. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
And things are looking up for Fiji hockey once again, but this time it's for Fiji under-18 team, which will play in the second Summer Youth Olympic Games in Nanjing, China next year. According to the Games qualification system, participation in team sports shall be limited to 1 women's and 1 men's team from each National Olympic Committee. Hockey was nominated ahead of football, rugby and handball. Come the inter-district tournament in October, selectors will scout secondary school players to form a national squad. Meanwhile, another first for hockey is the selection of an umpire to the 2014 Games.
It's taken us quite a bit to come to this level, to break international for hockey, and personal experience. The road to China is a stepping stone for the sport.
The Summer Youth Olympics will be held in August next year. That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now for business.
Fijian Holdings Group has shown impressive performance despite a difficult year, says Chairman Yowane Naiveli. The company made a pre-tax profit of $18.16 million in the financial year ending 30th June this year. Naiveli says this is an indication of hard work and business focus, adding that FHL's investment strategy has worked and that there are still opportunities to grow. Consolidated income for the group reached $233 million, an increase of 27% from the previous financial year. Group Chief Executive Nozab Farid says they can't be complacent since 3 companies, Basic Industries, a PNG-based subsidiary, and FHL Logistics made a loss of about $5.6 million. FHL is the largest investment group in Fiji. That time again, and how's it going, Weather Girl?
Not so bad, Jackie. I think I picked the wrong day to wear this jacket, though. Remember how we had a lot of clouds and showers yesterday? Well, it rained again all over the country. You could be forgiven if you thought you woke up in Suva this morning. Now, I'd hoped it wouldn't get any colder, but apparently it has. Our highest temperature today was just 27 degrees in Lambasa, and if that wasn't chilly enough for you, it was 23 degrees in the jet-set town and 22 right up here in the capital. The forecast says no sunshine tomorrow, which is pretty awful, but at least you can save on those water bills and have a rain bath. And before you head outside to take that shower, here's a great picture of an Assese sunset. Brilliant and beautiful. I'd like to think you could use a sunset to describe just about any woman you know.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Tonight's top story, sprinter Mbanuve Tambakaudoro has set a new record in the 100 meters final at the Pacific Mini Games in Wallace and Fortuna. Permanent Secretary for Elections Mohammed Saneem off to Australia to observe elections, and People's Democratic Party says they're ready to go to the polls under the 2013 Constitution. This week's poll question, and we're asking, with Australia and New Zealand now supporting the new Constitution, should all travel restrictions against Fiji stop? Visit our website www.fbc.com.fj to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's News Tonight, Modemanda.
Bula, oya wasala bilawa. Do pata kia o mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single level ni moniti kina vagarumbuka. Kako ni valatana no musini sari na kaisa mariando loloma leone vani ni nau om gori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single level ni moniti kina vagarumbuka en Bula FM number 2 en sere.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today's hit music. What's up?